Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome to episode, what am I at? 12 now. Episode 12 of Adventures in Happiness. My name is Vanessa Kinsey. I am passionate about authenticity, simplicity, and connection. My philosophy is based on taking radical responsibility for your own happiness, and this is my show where I introduce you to people, places, and ideas to help you do just that. So I want to just do a few little housekeeping things. I want to say hello to Tamisha. I see Tamisha's here. I was running a little bit late tonight because I was having to deal with my dogs who are, I don't know, hopefully you're not going to be able to hear them when they show up outside of my door. And then also I have some people that want to watch. I broadcast this, or I kind of advertise this for the first time on Instagram. And so I have some people there that are messaging me now trying to figure out how they can watch it. And I was going to try to send them a link, but I don't think that is even, I don't even think that's going to work. So I'm not even going to get into that. But I do just want to warn you that I may, you may get to meet my dogs tonight. If any of you have ever been on my videos or seen any of my videos before, that seems to happen frequently. I need a dog trainer. I will also tell you that if you jump on here live, unless you say hello to me, I cannot see you. So I don't know who's here watching live. So please do say hello to me so I can say hello back to you. One of my dogs just arrived outside of my door. I'm going to wait 1 second for the other one to get here, and then I'm going to have to stop for a second and let them in. Otherwise, they're going to drive me absolutely bananas while I'm trying to do this and while I'm trying to concentrate. So thank you so much for being here with me. If you're watching live or being here with me on the replay, I appreciate the time that you're taking out of your life to be here and listen to what we're going to talk about here today. So, oftentimes on the road to happiness, you have to examine some of the things in your life that make you unhappy. And so today the topic is going to be social media, some of the things that I've had go on, obviously just the baseline social media deals. And then in the last few weeks, I've had some experiences or things that have really, really bothered me and disturbed me. And so I want to talk about that. But I wanted to just get right into the show here today. I don't want to take too much of your time. I think the thing that I, mainly want to start with, and if you have any questions or you have any comments as we go through this, I would love to hear your opinion or how social media has affected you and or different things, that you experience with this. I'd love to hear, shout out a comment or something, or if something resonates with you, throw me up a heart so I know that this is landing and you understand what I'm talking about. But so when we have to start thinking, really examining the things in our lives that are making us unhappy, I think it's just an awareness of how did I get here? For me with social media, that's how it is. And before we even get into it, I just wanted to, first of all, full disclosure, just so you know, I am a social media addict. I am completely addicted to social media. I'm really not here to judge anybody about what you're doing, how much you use social media, anything like that. I am a complete social media addict myself. And that's really one of the reasons why the things that I've been noticing, and I'll talk a little bit about that, the things that I've been noticing within myself that I'm like, yeah, something has to change. Vanessa, something has to change. So I wanted to read you this quote, and I'm sorry if you, Tamisha, you were here maybe last week when I read this quote before, but it's something that has had such a huge impact on me. And now I'm getting messages on my phone, and perhaps I will see if I can fix that in just 1 second. But there was a book, and it's called Essentialism by Greg McGowan. And there was a passage in that book that when I read that, probably, I don't know, it's probably about a year ago when I read this book. And the title of the book is Essentialism, the Disciplined Pursuit of Less. And side note, if you're looking for something to read, if you decide to participate in this 4-day detox social media detox that we're doing next weekend, Thursday through Sunday. If you're looking for something to like fill your time, I really recommend that as a really great book, as something to read if you haven't read it before. I myself am going to be reading something more along the fiction lines because I really need to turn my mind off. But that book is really great. And the quote from that book that is really the thing that, well, let me read you the quote first. And it's a little bit long, so just buckle your seatbelt for just 1 second, and I want to read it. It is on page 13 of the book Essentialism. It is actually a quote by Peter Drucker, and it says, in a few hundred years, when the history of our time will be written from a long-term perspective, it is likely that the most important event historians will see it not technology, not the internet, not e-commerce. So basically the most important event in history, I think I read that wrong. It is the unprecedented change in the human condition. For the first time, literally, substantial and rapidly growing numbers of people will have choices. For the first time, they will have to manage themselves, and society is totally unprepared for it. And I have to say, I remember when I read that quote in the book, I remember how it hit me straight in my heart like a lightning bolt. It was then that I made the decision that I knew that what I wanted to do was I wanted to start sharing the message that I had, and coming online basically, which is funny, which is why I'm here. Like I have social media issues and I'm using social media, and I'll talk about that. But I just really think if you think about what that quote says and the way that I feel about social media and the way that I visualize it, as when this was social media was given to us, or thrust upon us, or however social media started coming into our lives, it did not come with an instruction manual. And most of us were at an age where we didn't even have parents to show us any kind of boundaries on how to use it. And I feel like that we are just gorging on this buffet of social media that has no boundaries. It has no ending point. It has no time limits, that you can basically, use it 24/7 and just continually and endlessly consume this information. And that if we were at a buffet with food and we were treating it the same way, that we would be able to very quickly see the ramifications of what our habits are creating, what the habits of how they're affecting us. But because social media is so much more insidious, we're not really seeing the effects of it. It's not really causing us a great deal of pain. And I think that when that circles back around, it's going to be maybe a decade or 2 or 3 in our lifetime, if you're my age at 48 years old, to where if something doesn't change and we don't start somehow self-regulating, we're going to get to the end of our lives and realize that we have spent the vast majority of our life just with a screen in our face, and just time is just going by, and wasted time, and we're going to have nothing to show for it. And that is a really frightening perspective, if you ask me. I just think that's sad. It's really sad. And so I wanted to do this for myself. I've noticed that for a while now, I've had this little voice in my head and that's been a while, probably easily 6 months, maybe longer, where I've said, yeah, I need to take a break. Just this little nagging thing. Yeah, I need to take a break. I'm on my phone too much. And then there's that thing that happened. If you have it, I don't know why all of a sudden I have it on my phone. Maybe I did a certain update, but if you have an iPhone, you know what I mean, because I've heard other people talk about this. But then all of a sudden I'm starting to get these messages on my phone telling me how much I'm using social media, or how much time I'm spending on my phone. And the very first time I saw that, I don't even really look at it anymore, but because it is so like disturbing, it's so sad to me. But the very first time I saw it, I was really like shell shocked about the amount of time that I was spending on my phone. It's like, how is that even possible that I was on my phone that much today? And it's like, I don't know, somehow I'm doing it. And to me, it reminds me of like when restaurants here in California, they started putting calories on the menu. And so then it totally took the fun out of going out to eat, because you go out to eat and you look at the menu and you're like, well, I guess I'm not getting the fettuccine Alfredo tonight because that has 37,000 calories in it. Well, maybe I'll get the Cobb salad. Oh, wow, even that has 24,000 calories in it. I mean, you just really got to see that when you have that visual about like the food that you're eating, how much it affects you, it makes you make different decisions. And then I'm like, okay, I guess I'll have a side salad and a small cup of vegetable soup. Like, I guess I'm not getting the bottomless fries. But isn't that, don't you think, like that's how social media is? It's just this bottomless, endless buffet of feasting. And I absolutely love it. And I'm addicted to it. And I have been for since March, using it as a way to connect with people and to serve people. And so anytime it would come across my, like maybe I should take a break, I would argue with myself, like, well, how could I? How could I take a break? I mean, I use it, I need it. I have a certain amount of, I need to be online. I need to be doing these things like this, like I need to be doing my videos. And I've just realized that I have these bad habits that I'm recognizing. I'm really like, how did I even get here? I'm noticing that I check my phone. I've started checking my phone at stoplights. I have in the middle of the night, if I wake up, I will like be laying there for a second and I'll realize, oh wait, I'm still awake. Let me grab my phone and start scrolling on my phone. Now I caught myself doing that when I realized I was doing that was pretty recently. I was like, you know what? Really bad habit. I'm not going to sleep with my phone next to my bed anymore. I put my phone in a completely different room because I don't even have the self-control to be able to say to myself, okay, your phone is there. And I know because I've done this, like, don't pick up the phone, Vanessa, don't start scrolling the phone. And then I reason with myself and just a few, and I do it. And so like the solution for me has been putting my phone in a different room, and that has helped. But like today I was getting ready, sometime earlier this afternoon, I had taken a shower. I was putting my makeup on. I remembered that I had to call my grandma. So I went and sat on the edge of my bed, picked up my phone to call my grandma. And it was like, I didn't even think about it. It was muscle memory. I just immediately did the things that I do on my phone screen where I checked Facebook. And then, I have a whole thing, perhaps you do too, of like the way that you use your phone. But so I checked my Facebook, and then I checked my Instagram, and then I had a message, and then I did here. And then I set my phone down and I got up and I was like, what just happened? I didn't even call my grandma. And I just thought it was a really interesting awareness that this has become an issue for me. And if it's not an issue for you, then it's not an issue for you. And I'm not trying to tell you that you have an issue with it, but I'm starting to see that I definitely need to make some choices and different decisions in my life. And I have to figure out a way, some sort of schedule, so I can use social media to do these things that I'm doing, to be able to connect, to be able to answer questions or, comments from people that I get on different videos or messages or things like that. But I have to be able to have some parameters. I can't be this constantly connected person. I don't want to be. And it's starting to affect things. And then a couple of weeks ago, I had a couple of situations happen that have really bothered me online, really bugged me. And I don't really want to get into too much about really what it was. I will say, the first thing is that, and I know it's like when I say this, it's like hashtag duh, Vanessa, but people are not who they say they are online. And I was so taken aback by this situation because I am who I say I am online. Like if you met me in real life, I would be the same person that I am online. And I guess other people aren't like that. And it has been um, a real eye opener to me that someone would get up online and portray themselves as something, as one thing, and then be basically, to me, it's an act that then when they're not here doing this, that offline, they're a completely different person. And if that's okay with you, and like, then, I mean, that's fine. That's just not something that's okay with me. It really bothers me. I just, like, one of my core values is authenticity. I cannot stand, I absolutely cannot stand fake people. I can't stand lying. And I can't stand, like, that's what it felt to me. I don't know what the whole situation is with this person and why they come across online like that, and why they just can't be themselves. I find it very sad that they can't show up as who they are, truly. It really does. It hurts my heart that you don't have enough belief in yourself the way that you just are naturally as a person, that you don't think that people would like you, probably, or something. I don't know. My personality is, there's that saying by Maya Angelou that says, when people show you who they are, believe them. And I mean, these are the lessons that I'm trying to learn out of this situation. For one thing, I didn't listen to myself. I didn't. And so the very first interaction, a personal interaction that I had with this person offline, I should have, I mean, it hit me, like, it hit me, and I should have, it was a physical feeling that I got. And instead of saying, oh, wow, like, this is how this person is, I made excuses. And that's not about that person. It's about, that's this, that's my personality. I really do try to see the best in people. And I also make excuses. And so it's not even just in this situation, it's in other areas of my life, that having that as like part of your personality of seeing the best in people there's a very bad side to that too. Like, I didn't listen to myself, and I don't want to discount the positiveness that I found, either that I've gotten out of that situation. But the bottom line is, I just didn't listen to myself. And I really appreciate the friends, the people that I've reached out to and have kind of walked me through this, because it has been really, really upsetting to me. On the one hand, I'm really, like, sad that I thought I was a better judge of character. And I have to change some things. And I thought I was going on one direction, and I have to kind of pivot. And it's been a change. But I did see a quote yesterday, actually, that helped me kind of realize that, you know, a different way of that quote, when people show you who they are, believe them. This is actually more appropriate. I just want to show you this quote, because this is actually more appropriate to what happened. That people will show you who they are, but we ignore it because we want them to be who we want them to be. And in this situation, that's what I did. I totally ignored these red flag warning signs, and I didn't listen to myself. So that is a really good lesson that I've learned in this situation. I mean, one of the things that I'm so passionate about, from the get-go when I started online, was helping people learn how to listen to themselves and listen to your own heart. And one of the ways that you can do that just in your life, if you're not used to doing that, is by really starting to pay attention to the way that things make you feel. So I believe all of us have an internal guidance system that guides us, just that we were born with it, and that's guiding us, and just can maneuver us through life if we learn how to pay attention to it, our own GPS system. And I didn't do that and the same thing with these other things, different things that have happened just in my own life with social media. It kind of hits me the wrong way, and then I don't like it, I feel like, oh, that didn't feel right, and then I just kind of brush over it, and I'm on to the next scroll or post or whatever. And then the second thing that happened that really, really bugged me was that, and hold on. Not only do I have a dog problem, can you hear my dogs? I can. I have a battery problem because I didn't plug my my laptop in. It's always something. I always have some sort of technology. I always have some sort of technology goof. Hi, Heather. Oh my gosh, Heather, hi. So nice to see you here, Tomisha. Thank you, girls, for being here. So the other thing that happened, something that happened, online to me recently is a couple weeks ago. And both of these things, it was like this crescendo of things, everything happening at the same time. And it really has put me, the last couple of weeks, I've been in like a really weird place because of it. It has really made me examine some things about being online, like saying, well, let me tell you what happened on Instagram. So I've never really used Instagram as a way to connect with anybody other than people that I know or interact with. My profile was not public. And a couple of weeks ago, I had a situation. I needed to make it, I've been doing interviews. I needed to make it public. There was a reason why I did that. It was a decision that I made to make it public. And I don't know, I'm not very versed in Instagram. I feel like I've learned a lot in the last 2 weeks, what I've been through over there on that platform. But basically, really quickly, and again, I mean, #duh.com. I don't know, maybe you're familiar with this if you've been on Instagram and this is the lay of the land and this is the way it works. But for me, just like meeting this person or having this interaction with this person who is a completely different person than offline than online, and that took me for such, just really rung my bell about that, this Instagram thing that's going on over at Instagram. And if you get this, if you're on Instagram and you have a public profile or you have a business profile and you have seen this happen, if you have any suggestions on the way you deal with it, let me know. So here's the deal. What has happened is I made my profile public, and then right away, I started getting all these people following me. And I didn't know, I would just follow them back. I really didn't have an agenda. I wasn't doing anything on there with it like that. But interestingly enough, I've had a couple people follow me, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. I know that person. I've heard of that person. They're very well known on Instagram or online or some sort of media, something. And I would interact with them because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is like a whole nother platform that I can connect with people. There were several people that I had messaged or I'd put comments on their posts like, thank you so much for connecting with me. And then I started building this list, how cool. I would look at their stuff and I think, oh my gosh, I would love to interview that person. And I mean, I was just going to this whole thing, and it was just completely innocent on my part, really. I was just really wow, this is so cool. I'm not trying to get any certain number of followers or whatever. What I realized was there's this whole game going on Instagram, and it's people follow you and then they unfollow you. I guess the whole thing is they follow you, so you'll follow them. And then, well, actually what my friend told me is, oh, the thing is, I guess there's apps for this craziness. This is absolutely bananas to me. I still can't wrap my mind around it. But apparently there's an app that tells you the people that unfollow you or whatever. I don't know. I mean, this sounds like a lot of time to me, like a lot of time and energy wasted. But I was actually following these people. So my friend said, oh yeah, if you don't follow people, then they'll unfollow you. I said, but that's not the situation here. I mean, I was following these people. And anyways, can you even tell, if you haven't had this happen to you or you're not on Instagram, how so cuckoo this is? That's bananas. And it really, really bothered me that people think that this is the way that you build connection with people, or this is the way that you build a community of people by doing that sort of thing. To me, it just feels very bottom feeder. It's like, give me all the followers, give me all the followers. I got to have all the followers. And I just don't see the point in that. I really cannot wrap my mind around that. And if you can, and if you have some sort of insight on why people would just, it is the opposite of everything that I believe in, and everything that I want to do or online, or how I would want to be. And I also believe in the power, the absolute power of social media at being able to connect people. I mean, I have people in my life that this year, people that are in my circle, people in Florida. There's a girl in Florida. I have a girl up north, my friend Kara up north. I have people actually internationally. There's a couple people internationally that I've met by what I'm doing online. And can you hear my dogs? Oh my God, I need a dog trainer. Seriously, I need a dog trainer. This is so annoying. They're like, my husky, my Pomsky is outside of my door, and she's like going to break it down, and I'm just going to ignore it. Hopefully you guys can't hear it because I have my headphones on. Anyway, I just think that is so bananas. Like, what is the point of having a bunch of followers? I can't even wrap my head around it. So those two things, besides the whole thank you, Heather. You can't hear my dogs. They are getting so impatient. They're like, look, lady, you've been here for like 30 minutes now. That's way longer than they're used to being away from me. If they're in here, they are like, so they don't just lay, like one of them does. One of my dogs will just lay down like a normal dog. But my other dog, Bamboo, my Chihuahua that has emotional issues, he will want to come and like sit on my lap. So anyway, those are the things, the social media things that really were kind of on top of just the other social media things that I've been struggling with myself, kind of feeling like I need to make some boundaries. I need to have some kind of schedule that I do social media, especially if I'm building something like this online. I cannot, and I do not want to have a life that is completely just overrun by social media all day, every day. I don't, that's really what I don't want that. And I think that awareness of a situation is your first step in making changes to be able to change that. So that's just what I'm doing. I thought it was a great time this weekend that we had this 4-day holiday coming up, that it was a good time to do like a little, just take a break. And I can't imagine that 4 days is like a true social media detox. But at the same time, I probably don't even go 8 hours without checking social media. So even if I was to, so 4 days is probably going to be, a good little go of it. And so I'm kind of, I'd actually started toying around. This is the way this first came out is the fact that my kids have like such an addiction to Fortnite, to the game on their PS4. And it causes a lot of trouble in my house. I've talked about that before. And they're on vacation now. And I'm actually on vacation myself next week. And I thought about like, how could I get them to not be on that PlayStation all day, every day, even though they have time limits. They're only allowed to play it a certain amount of time a day. Wouldn't it be nice if I didn't have to compete with that? Because like everything we do, like if we're going to go somewhere, it's always like has to be scheduled around, if so-and-so is playing, has somebody is like, my friend Griffin will have his friend coming on, his friend can get on at 4 or whatever. I don't know. I just was like thinking how nice it would be to actually interact with my family. And that's kind of what got me started about it. And I kind of told them like, hey, this is what's going to happen over the Thanksgiving holiday. Our internet is going to be out. and I don't know, I'm still trying to like work a way around like, how am I going to get them off that PlayStation? Like, I really am going to have to, I don't want to lie to them, but really like, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to, the internet is going to have to be out. Like there's like things I want to do. Like I want to be able to have the ability to like go outside with them or take a walk or go play tennis or even play a board game or a puzzle or any of the things that those are things that we don't do anymore because they play their video game. And so that was what started all this. And then I started realizing, hey, just wait a second. When you're pointing the finger at them and the problems that they're having, you actually also have a huge problem with social media. So let's like focus on yourself, keep your eyes on your own paper, and let's see how you do 4 days without social media. So my plan was, obviously initially was to do this for myself. And then I thought, I don't know, it's a good time. Maybe other people you're feeling like this too, want to take 4 days and just take a step back from social media. And I thought this would be a good time to do it. So I am going to create, and I have created just a private Facebook group on Facebook, just because I wanted a place that could be like a safe place on the internet. I don't expect that there's going to be like a lot of information like exchange there, because we're going on a social media detox. So I'm not going to be online. But what I was thinking, my plan was to go on there on Wednesday night and just do like a check-in to like check out. Check in to check out. So like, hey, here I am. I'm actually checking out of social media. I'll tell you guys a few of the things that I'm going to do that are going to help me. I think some of the things that I'm going to do that are going to help me be successful at doing this. And then what I'd like to do is just circle back around like on Monday. So Wednesday, do the check-in. My plan is to be off when I go to bed on Wednesday night and not pick up my phone again until Monday morning. And then Monday, I would like to circle back around with everybody. If you choose to participate in this with me, circle back around. And I just would really like to hear your take. I like your experience with it. I'm really curious to know, like, how you felt and what happened. And I know I have in the past tried to like say to myself, okay, I'm going to be off my phone for a certain amount of hours or something. And I've several times, it's just this habit that I go and I pick up my phone and I find myself checking my phone. And I don't want to do that anymore. So if you liked what you've heard here today, I would love to invite you to join me in this little experiment and come on in the private Facebook group and do this little mini social media detox with me next Thursday. So Thanksgiving through Sunday. And I'm not going to be policing anybody. There's nothing in the Facebook group. Like you make your own rules. I think that's really the bottom line, most important part of this is that we all need to start taking personal responsibility for our own self, making our own decisions about how we use social media. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Actually, I am really looking forward to taking a little break, taking a little vacation, and just seeing how much difficulty I have with this. Because like I said, I am a complete social media addict. So I know it's like when I gave up French fries or my addiction to Del Taco iced coffee, which I've been off of coming up on a year. I should have a celebration for that, but I have not had Del Taco iced coffee in a year. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for being here with me live tonight. There's a couple of people here, Tamisha, Heather. Thank you so much, you guys, for stopping by. If there's other people here, I don't know who you are. If you don't tell me in the comments, so I can't say hello to you. I can't see who's here watching with us. But I thank you. I thank you for your time, and I really hope that you'll join me in this experiment. If you have any questions, of course, I'm always available to you. Send me a private message either here or tag me in a DM or tag me on Instagram if Instagram is the platform that you perform. Otherwise, you guys have a really great week and have a really happy Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you before then. Bye.